First off, I want to thank Disney for giving me access to the first 4 episodes early. I always want to thank everybody whenever I get a pre-screening to one of these. I appreciate each and every one of them. Over the weekend, they allowed me to preview the first 4 episodes. And let me just say, not the whole show, it's just the first 4 out of 6 episodes. But even just based on these first 4 episodes, let me just say, this is Marvel's most ambitious show yet. And this is definitely the best MCU TV show we've gotten so far, at least from the episodes that I saw of it. The world building is very interesting. The main character is very different than anyone we've met in the MCU. The villain is very well done, and the action is fantastic. Now, there is one aspect about this show that might divide some people, and that is the show overall is very serious. It has a very dark, creepy tone to it, but that's not what's going to be divisive about it. What might be divisive about it is, even though it is a very dark, creepy show, there's still some humor. I know the MCU gets a lot of flack for sometimes overdoing it with the humor, and there's not a ton of humor in this show, at least compared to other MCU movies and other MCU projects. Overall, it is still a very serious show, but when it does get to the humor, it's very reminiscent of the Venom movie. A lot of the humor comes from Oscar Isaac arguing with himself, basically. He's got kind of this other personality that's living inside him, and he's very much arguing back and forth with it. It very much comes off like Tom Hardy arguing with Tom Hardy in Venom. Very much comes across as like Eddie Brock in Venom and that kind of thing. So I'm one of the people who enjoyed that aspect of the Venom movie, and I enjoyed it in this show as well. But I know a lot of people had a problem with that, so that may be an issue for them. Luckily, if you are one of those people where it was an issue for you, those moments are few and far between. Overall, this show is still very serious. And unlike the other MCU Disney Plus shows, this is a character we're meeting for the first time. WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki, Hawkeye, we knew all those characters. And this is a character that we as MCU viewers who don't read the comics know nothing about, and it knows that. And it really takes the time to develop the main character, establish the setting, establish the mythology, and it's fantastic. It doesn't rush anything. It very much takes the time to establish the rules, to establish the mythology, to establish the character, who he is, who the villain is. And I can't speak for how accurate the show is to the comics, but as a superhero fan who watched this as a superhero show, I loved it. Also, Ethan Hawke as the villain, he's very well done. And I know Marvel kind of has a villain problem again. I don't know how the show is going to end, but based on the episodes that I saw, I think he might go down in history as one of the best MCU villains we've gotten. He's very creepy. He has very just sinister motivations. Everything about him is just very, very sinister. And this is also some of the best action we've gotten in the MCU. The action isn't super big and ambitious. It's very street level. And I'd even say it's very similar to Batman in terms of the way the action is done. There were moments during the action scenes where I'm like, this is kind of like watching a Batman movie, especially with the way he fights. It was very reminiscent of Batman. I highly recommend this show. I can't wait to see the last 2 episodes when they finally release, because this was amazing. It's Marvel's best show yet. I highly, highly recommend it.